Hello everyone. Let's take a question from the chapter Theory of Equations, which is one of the very first chapters anyone is taught in their coaching classes, and it is kind of a base on which all of 11th and 12th mathematics is based. So a command on this chapter is absolutely essential whenever it comes to almost any question of JEE mathematics. I think this is one of those questions that everyone should be able to solve, but if you are not able to solve, let us see it step by step because the reasoning involved will be applied in a lot many questions. We have this polynomial with real coefficients. This is important. Real coefficients is important, such as f of 1 is minus 9. Suppose under root iota is a root of the equation 4x cubed plus 3x square plus 2bx is equal to 0. Then we have to find this term. Now let us simplify this. X comes out common and we get a quadratic equation. X is equal to 0 is a root of this equation, and when we have found one root, as is always the case in cubic equations, we find the other two roots by factorizing the quadratic equation. Now one root is root 3 iota, and they have said that this is a polynomial with real coefficients. So a, b and c are all real. Here also 4, 3a and 2b will be real. Now one of the very basics of any quadratic equation is that if the coefficients are real and one root is imaginary, then the other root has to be its conjugate because imaginary roots always occur in conjugate pairs. This point was handy in the very first video I did on this channel, which is a tough question, but the key to it was based on this point. So after solving this question, please check it out because it is a way tougher question than this one, but the logic there is the same. So if one root is root 3 iota, the other two will be minus root 3 iota. It's as simple as that. So from this equation, we can use the sum of root and the product of roots to find out a and b. Sum of roots is minus 3a by b because it is minus b by a. b is 3a and a is 4. Therefore, sum of roots will be minus 3a by 4. Now, root 3i plus minus root 3i is 0 because it's a conjugate pair. Therefore, a simply is 0. So we have the value of a. Similarly, we can easily find the value of b because product of roots will be c by a, where c here is 2b and a is 4. So product of roots 2b by 4 will be root 3 iota into minus of root 3 iota. Be careful with this minus sign because you will have another minus sign coming from here, and so the product will be 3, from which we get b is equal to 6. Now we have a and we have b. The only thing left is to calculate c, which we can from this condition. F of 1 is equal to minus 9. This means that when you substitute 1 in this equation, the value of the equation becomes minus 9. So we just substitute 1 in place of x everywhere here. So we get 1 raised to power 4 plus a, which is 0, into 1 raised to power 3 plus b, which is 6, into 1 raised to power 2 plus c. And on solving, we get c is equal to minus 16. So basically now we have all the coefficients of this equation. We have the entire equation now. So we can easily find the roots of this because a is 0 and this equation assumes a form which is easily factorizable. We have x raised to power 4 plus 6x square minus 16 after putting the values of a, b and c, and so it easily factorizes as x square plus 8 into x square minus 2 is equal to 0. Now this term, whenever you have this such a kind of a term, it means that we will have imaginary roots. So x square is equal to minus 8, x is equal to plus minus under root of 8 into under root of minus 1. If you have confusion in understanding this, you can see it this way. You can do it into 8 into under root of minus 1. Okay, now remember, when you do under root of a into b, unless and until both a and b are negative, both of a and b cannot be negative. Either both have to be positive or any one has to be positive. When it is the case, you can easily do this as under root of a into under root of b. Just remember that both of these cannot be negative in this condition. So under root a into under root of minus 1, and this is I. So I is easily taken out and we get plus minus under root 8 into iota. And this is easy. X square is equal to 2. So you get x is equal to plus minus under root 2. Finally, what we need is the sum of squares of mod of the root, modulus. When you have under root 8 iota and when you have a minus sign, after applying mod, it becomes 8 iota, under root 8 iota. Similarly here, it will become root 2 and plus root 2 again. So when you apply mod, all of these terms simplify as all positive things and their squares. So it becomes 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 20. So the point of choosing this question was again that not all JEE questions are tough. This is a question that they could have easily given in JEE mains as well. And that is the entire point of this channel, right? We have to analyze questions from every direction, from their difficulty level, how to use questions to gauge your progress, how to use questions to understand stuff. Because this seems like a very easy thing that the roots occur in conjugate pair, but as I said, in the very first video of this channel, we covered a question where this point was used in a very nice way to solve a question that was much more complex than this one. So in any case, please subscribe to this channel because as I said, theory will be covered in most of your classes, but it is the application of those theories with respect to the question and also taking into fact the pressure that you will be facing when you're solving these questions. So we will be commenting on that as well. So we will also be talking about what changes happen in your mentality when you solve easier questions in JEE setup and how to avoid possible pitfalls that most people fall into. So as I said, please subscribe to this channel for more JEE maths videos. Thank you.